Hi, everybody. Welcome into Sports Talk Chicago. My name is Jon Zaghloul. Great to have you here on Channel 59.3 B-Pod TV and Roku. Big show for today. We're going to break down Ryan Pace and his job status come next year, break down his trades and his moves and what he's done, whether they've been good or not, whether he deserves to stay for the Bears in 2022. It's a great show. Hope to stay tuned. Before we get started, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports and on Facebook at Jon Zaghloul. If you want to watch more of this show, search up Sports Talk Chicago on YouTube or go to sportstalkchicago.com. If you want to watch other shows from the B-Pod TV network, search up BPOD TV on YouTube. I want to start today with this. Consistency. It's always the prime evaluator of production and how valuable you are. That's not just with Ryan Pace or Matt Nagy or the Bears. That's in life. Are you dependable? Do you work hard? Do you consistently produce? That's what matters. Can't be hot one day, cold the next. Not going to help anybody. People want to know if you're dependable. People want to know, what am I getting in this person? Will he bring it every single day, or is he prone to mistakes? And if he is, can they be corrected? Can he become consistent? Or will he always be back and forth? The Bears have a pretty big decision to make when it comes to consistency. And Ryan Pace. See, Ryan Pace has been with the Bears for a very long time. You could say his job status has been consistent, but the results he's put up, not so much. Not here to trash every single little thing he's done, because he's done some good too. We'll talk about it. We'll compare them both. But the question is, has the good that he's done outweighed the bad? Should he stay and just bring in a new coach, not Matt Nagy? I'll preface this by saying the following. Since last year, really, everybody wanted Pace and Nagy gone. They were supposed to be a package. And even earlier this year, same thing. We've only seen recently the idea that Ryan Pace, for some reason, deserves to stay. As I mentioned in my video on Monday, why are they saying that for Ryan Pace and not Matt Nagy? When these rumors are being perpetuated, remember where they're coming from. They're preparing everybody for the fact that Ryan Pace may as well stay. I don't know if he's deserving. I mean, we'll talk about what he's done and what he hasn't done. But the fact that we're already seeing these rumors being put out should tell you all you need to know about his future. I don't think that's fair. I think there should be a fair evaluation of what he's done since he's come here. Many of you remember I had Randy Mueller on a few weeks ago, former NFL GM, formerly Ryan Pace's boss. He told me he never got a second chance with a coach or a quarterback. Pace stays, this will be the third head coach that he's hired, or had a say in hiring. He's already on his second quarterback, too. Food for thought. Ryan Pace has done some good with this team, though. No question. Orchestrated Khalil Mack, which helped the Bears big time in 2018. Now, since then, trade's been kind of a joke, but in 2018, it was worth it. And the Bears went all in, and I firmly believe still, if Cody Parkey didn't miss that kick, the Bears would have been in the Super Bowl that year. No question. So I'm not going to blame Ryan Pace for trading away a lot of the future to win today. At the time, it was smart, and it almost worked. Can't really blame him for that. Drafted Roquan Smith. Great pick. Still not a Pro Bowler, which is a discussion for a different day, which is a joke. But still, made a great pick defensively. He's had a lot of good picks. David Montgomery, another. Darnell Mooney, late round pick. A lot of decent players that Pace has actually drafted on his own, late round. A lot of the time in the late rounds, those picks are worthless. They're trash picks. For the most part, nothing really happens to them. I mean, it's very rare you see a fifth-round pick like Darnell Mooney become your number one wide receiver. That just doesn't happen. Pace made it happen, to his credit. Great pick. Signed Cairo Santos. I mean, we remember Cody Parkey. It was Ryan Pace's fault for cutting Robbie Gould, but still. Signed Cairo Santos and made the kicking position one of the only constants on this team. Drafted Adrian Amos. Signed Pernell McPhee. Drafted Cody Whitehair. James Daniels. Drafted Eddie Goldman, even, too. This is a nice list. Eddie Jackson, to an extent. I mean, this year's been a tough one, but he was an all-pro. All of those are great moves Ryan Pace has made, and I'll admit, other GMs in the league may not have found those diamonds in the rough that he has. So that's all credit to him. 100%. They're all good. Everything I just told you was a success by Ryan Pace. These are the good things he did. What do we talk about to open up? Consistency. Is this a pattern? Is he always making good, nimble moves? No. Not really. Matt Nagy's going to be fired no matter what, so that's the second coach Ryan Pace has hired that's going to be fired. He drafted Mitch Trubisky, and look, I was a Mitch supporter. I still am. I think he's a competent quarterback, but the fact is he passed up on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. Say what you want about Watson and his civil cases, from a pure playing aspect, from a skill aspect, that was a bad scouting decision. It was. Shouldn't have happened. Mitch Trubisky does not have the skill nor the talent that Mahomes and Watson do. That's a problem. He signed Mike Glennon, which we talked about at length on Monday. Paid him $40+ million, $18 million guaranteed. That's a joke. You're a great scout. How do you miss out and pay somebody like that real money? Or trade for Nick Foles, too. Oh, yeah, he drafted Kevin White. Remember that? First pick. First time ever. He had a pick in the draft, and he chose Kevin White in the first round. Drafted Adam Shaheen. Remember him? Sure, he's had a decent year with the Dolphins, a couple of decent years, but that does not even begin to make up for the joke that he was here in Chicago. Total joke. Horrible player. Cut Robbie Gould. Signed Cody Parkey. We know how that one ended. Drafted Anthony Miller. Now, to his credit, he cleaned up for that mistake. He traded Miller to the Texans, got a good pick back. I have no problem with that. But Miller was a bust. Second round pick, supposed to be great, didn't really pan out at all. He cut Kyle Fuller. Yeah, last year. Now look at the Bears secondary. And that's right, he signed Trey Burton. What a joke. You've heard me go through a lot of the moves Ryan Pace has done. Again, some good, some really good, some bad. And not just bad, really bad. Moves that have set back the organization a bit. So, now comes the question. Do you keep him or do you let him go? For some reason, people want to have a discussion about this, even though it should have been settled last year. But again, because of mainstream media putting out reports about Ryan Pace staying and Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace not being a package deal, it's obvious that the Bears want to keep him. Maybe media doesn't, maybe you and I don't, but the Bears do. That's why all these reports are coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Pace is retained at the end of the season. Matt Nagy's gone. That's been confirmed, not just with the Thanksgiving report and the report 2 weeks ago. He and Rappaport said it the other day. Matt Nagy is gone. The Bears will start their search for coach immediately following the season. So Matt Nagy's gone. Fine. Who hired Matt Nagy? Who hired John Fox? Who drafted Mitch Trubisky? Who drafted Adam Shaheen? Who signed Trey Burton? Who signed Mike Glennon? Nick Foles? Kevin White? Who drafted Kevin White? Look, I see a pattern with Ryan Pace, and to me it's pretty apparent. Ryan Pace does a great job at drafting in the late rounds, and that's fine. But almost every time he's been given a top pick, he's screwed it up. Mitch Trubisky, Kevin White. We don't know yet about Justin Fields. We don't know if Justin Fields is the best quarterback of his draft class. Not yet. But the other times he screwed up. Big time. And he's hired 2 coaches. Both of whom are fired. Consistency. And even more than consistency. We've gone back and forth about the good and the bad he's done. That's inconsistent. That's a red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 is this. You might do great when it comes to picks that don't even matter, or there are low expectations for. But what about the top ones? What about the ones with all the fanfare, all the intrigue? Can you get the job done? Can you make a tough decision? A big decision? Ryan Pace might be a great scout, and he might be great at finding late-round talent. But the fact is, when it comes to a big-time decision, like a quarterback, head coach, first-round pick, can't do it. I would have rather seen the Bears hit it on Trubisky, or draft Watson, or Mahomes, instead of deal with what they have now. I would have rather seen the Bears hire a great head coach and totally bungle the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks. Because guess what? If they were in that position, they'd have a quarterback and a head coach, they'd be fine. That's all that matters in the NFL. So to me, I see it that way. See, to me, the question is, has Ryan Pace made the right big decisions? We could talk about great 5th round picks all day, fine. When it comes to the quarterback and the head coach, the 2 most important positions in football, can't get it right. Let me ask you this. Would you rather have a good quarterback and a good head coach and bad 5th round picks, or the opposite? The opposites happen to the Bears. Ryan Pace, as a GM, should be making good, big decisions. He can't do it. He's not a big decision GM. Good scout, good late-round guy, not a big decision guy. And I'd rather have a great quarterback and a great head coach and bad 5th round picks. The opposite has happened to the Bears. That's why they are where they are right now. Pace has gone for 2 head coach, countless quarterbacks, too. What are you supposed to say to that? What would you rather have? I'm asking. Good quarterback, good head coach, or shaky quarterback, not going to be in a 3rd head coach, and great 5th round picks. If you're a GM, you need to make big decisions. That's why you're the general manager. You're not the scout. You're not some pro guy. You're not some draft analyst. You're the GM. You make the final decision, and it's a pretty big one. You're tasked with finding a good quarterback, finding a good head coach, building this team from the ground up. And while Ryan Pace has done some good when it comes to 5th round picks, when it comes to some wide receivers, running backs, O-line to an extent, he hasn't done enough when it comes to the big decisions. So for those of you still clamoring, some of you, for Ryan Pace to stay, hey, he's a great scout. What are you talking about, John? Great person. Sure he is. He is a great scout. He might be a good person, sure. Not a good GM. You have to make big decisions. Colossal ones. Franchise-changing ones. Has Ryan Pace done that? No. No. In the first round, every time the Bears have a top pick, it's screwed up in some capacity, with the exception of Justin Fields, and we don't even know yet. I heard John Fox and Matt Nagy, too. Both of which are going to be fired. That's on him. I'd still rather have a great coach, great quarterback, bad late round picks than what the Bears have now. The Bears are the opposite here. The Bears, great late round picks, no coach, no quarterbacks. How do you win in the NFL? How do you win games? Look, I'm sorry. Love David Montgomery. Love Darnell Mooney. They're not going to win you a game. Need a quarterback, need a head coach. Bears don't have it. So when we talk about Ryan Pace and we talk about his merits, what he brings to the table, well, he can't bring big decisions to the table. And that's going to be his downfall. Might be a great scout, might be great at finding diamonds in the rough, but a GM is tasked with finding what they need. Big decisions, not just small ones. That's why you're the general manager. So if it were up to me, Ryan Pace would go too. He wants to stick around as a scout, let him stay. But when you need somebody to make a big decision, when you need consistency, good picks, good hires all the time, Ryan Pace isn't your guy. I have a feeling, deep down, the Bears will keep him. If these reports are being out there, then chances are he's going to stay. But I strongly disagree with that move. You're not allowed to get a third chance at a head coach, second chance at quarterback. It doesn't work that way. And in Ryan Pace's case, if he stays, he should be very, very grateful that the McCaskies like him. Because truthfully, really in any other organization, any other scenario, he'd be fired too. Thanks for watching today's show here on BPOD TV, channel 59.3 in Roku. Really appreciate the time. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports and on Facebook at Jon Zaghloul. If you want to watch more of this show, search up Sports Talk Chicago on YouTube or go to sportstalkchicago.com. Interviews coming up this week still with Bob Nightingale, plus a Bears-Vikings preview for the last game of the season. You don't want to miss it. Comes up right here at 10:30 on BPOD TV. So long, everyone.